Hi everyone. So you will notice the different background behind me. I am in the library today and I had a book talk planned, but then I thought I'd like to share something really exciting with you guys. So I mentioned before that I was buying new books for the library, which I haven't done in months. And I bought a ton of stuff and the boxes came. And so I thought, I don't know if any of you have ever watched the Instagram or Facebook stories where people will unbox their subscription service stuff to show off the things that they got in their boxes. And so I thought I would do that today with you, a little library twist to it. So we're gonna unbox some new books today. Now the caveat is that because they are brand new, I have not read these books yet. I have read reviews of them and made sure that they all look like excellent things, and they are things that patrons are requesting. So some of them are choices that are made by our very own patrons, which is exciting. And they all look fantastic, but I can't speak to them in the same way that I've been speaking to these other books I've been talking about, which I have read and loved. So I split into a couple categories and I've got a lot of books to cover. So what I'm gonna do is at the end of this, I will do the montage of the covers. And so if you don't see one or you don't catch something, just watch at the end and there'll be a whole list in order of the book covers and you'll be able to see them. Some of them may have holds on them, so you may have to get on the wait list, but hopefully that will move right along. And some of them might be available right away, which is super exciting. I'm also working on a way for you guys to be able to browse some of the stuff without coming in the building. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but I'm on it. And so please know I'm trying my hardest here to make sure that you'll get your hands on these brand new books. So the first category I thought we would talk about is scary books. I don't always like horror, but I think these ones look exciting and I thought I might share them with you. So the first one is a known and loved author, Mr. Stephen King. It's called If It Bleeds. It has some horrifying cat on the cover, you know, cats and librarians, but I also, anytime Stephen King comes around an animal, crazy stuff usually happens. So this is a collection of short stories and I know for his fans, it's been eagerly awaited. So that's exciting. The next one is right up my alley. It's called The Deep. And I think it has to do with the Titanic. It's a fictionalized account, obviously. And I think there is some supernatural element to it, which is always my favorite, some real weird, magic-y kind of stuff. So it got really great reviews and I'm very excited to check that one out. And it's, the author is Alma Katsu. So I'm very pumped for that one. Then I got some nonfiction because we do have a nonfiction book club here at the library. And I thought that means that we have a good number of nonfiction readers. So I got a couple different kinds here to show you. The first one is called Nobody Will Tell You This But Me, and it's by Bess Kalb. And she saved every voicemail that her grandmother ever left her. And then one of the quotes in here is that with humor and poignancy, she gives us a proof of the special bond that can skip a generation and endure beyond death. The book is a feat of extraordinary ventriloquism and imagination. So it sounds like kind of sentimental and pretty exciting. So that one's there for anybody who's interested. The next one is by the comic Mike Birbiglia. It's called The New One. And the subtitle is Painfully True Stories from a Reluctant Dad. He is a stand-up comedian. I have watched this stand-up comedy routine that this book is based on, and it was hilarious. Very real to life. I think very able to be related to by anybody who is a parent. So if you need a good laugh, I would suggest The New One by Mike Birbiglia. Then we have a couple more serious ones. So we have one called Supreme Inequality, and it's about the Supreme Court. It's by Adam Cohen. And I think if anybody's really into the justice system and how our government works and how the Supreme Court works, this is probably an interesting read for you. And then we also have one entitled Why We're Polarized by Ezra Klein. And I'm really interested to read that one myself, honestly, because I think that's one of the challenges facing us as a country right now is how polarized we are as a group. And so, or two groups, I guess. And so I think this book is looking to offer its own version of an explanation for why that is. And I'm curious to read it. So if anybody checks that one out, tell me if it's good. Then I have a whole bunch of kind of beach reads, what I would call like pop fiction in different kinds of streams and veins, but things that would make for a good read on vacation or at the beach. The first one is a mystery thriller called What You Don't See by Tracy Clark. And it is about a cop, a former cop, I believe. So it has that police bent for a lot of people who are into those kind of stories, hard-boiled investigators, that sort of stuff. So it looked really good and it got very good reviews. There is a new James Patterson, isn't there always? This one is called The Summer House, and it says private beach, perfect view, 7 murders. So who could ask for more than that out of a beach read? His books usually are really great for that. They're page turners. They keep you moving right through them. And the good news is if you've never read him before and you like this, there's a million of them. He writes constantly. Probably more books he publishes a year than any other author. So you'll have a large array to choose from if you decide to pick up a James Patterson book. The next one is from Reese's book club, Reese Witherspoon, who chose Where the Crawdads Sing, which everybody went bananas for. So if you're kind of following Reese, this book is one of her newer picks. It's called The Henna Artist by Alka Joshi, and it looks fantastic. They said it has very evocative imagery, vibrant characters, sumptuous prose, so it looks like an excellent book. And if you were, like I said, on board with Reese's picks, this is one of them. So that will be in the system. There is a new comic kind of chick lit novel called Separation Anxiety by Laura Zigman, and it's supposed to be a portrait of marriage and divorce, and but very funny and poignant. And if you can see on the cover, that is a dog and a baby carrier, so on her chest, which I love. So that makes me want to read this book, but it looks like a great summer read to give you something to do while you're sitting on the porch swing or on the beach. The next one I have is Happy and You Know It by Laura Henkin. And it is, it's a humorous book, a dark, witty page turner about a struggling young musician who takes a job singing for a playgroup of overprivileged babies and their effortlessly cool moms. So it says that this is a story of what would happen if the Nanny Diaries met the Sex and the City in the social media age, which already I'm hooked. As a Bravo fan and all things comic, this sounds right up my alley. So Happy and You Know It. And then this last one I have here is maybe for the younger, slightly younger crowd. It's called Girl Gone Viral. And this person, the author is Alicia Rai, and she has written other books, and this is fascinating characters, edgy romance, modern voice. So check out Girl Gone Viral. And then the last group of books I wanted to talk about today is if you've been watching the coverage and the news of all of the Black Lives Matter protests and kind of checking out some reading material in that vein, I have some really great fiction and nonfiction. So the fiction book I have is called Deacon King Kong by James McBride. And he is a well-known African-American author. And this is about, it's a surprising story of a shooting of a Brooklyn drug dealer and the people who witnessed it. So it's supposed to be really fantastic. It's gotten rave reviews, so I'm very excited to check this one out. On a more serious note, there is this New York Times bestseller, which is also a Reese Witherspoon pick, called I'm Still Here, Black Dignity in a World Made for Whiteness by Austin Channing Brown. So this is obviously a nonfiction book. It's a biography. But again, Reese picked it. And so if you were following her, this is another one of her choices. There is a new work of fiction out, a really fantastic new novel called The Girl with the Louding Voice by Abi Dare. And it looks like it's gotten such amazing reviews for the writing. It's a debut, which if any of you know me, I'm a sucker for a first book. I often think they're the best that the author writes. So this one is definitely on my to-read list. And then lastly, this book, I thought when we were able to start the cookbook club again, this is definitely going to be one I would like to investigate. It's called Meals, Music, and Muses, Recipes from My African-American Kitchen, excuse me, by Alexander Smalls. And the thing I love about it is it combines a cookbook with life stories and photos, and it's got beautiful photos of the food. I mean, who doesn't want to eat that? So I'm really excited about this book. It's gorgeous. It got great reviews, and I'm hopeful that maybe when we do Cookbook Club, we could check this one out. So, and then somebody would win a copy, which would be even better. So those are the books I have right now unboxing, but I'm going to be ordering more. So definitely check back in and keep picking books up at the curbside pickup. We have 6 days a week now available for you to come, and we look forward to seeing you, and keep your eyes peeled because we have some exciting stuff coming. Okay, I'll talk to you next week. Thanks.